Linex, an engineering firm in Irvine, California, has developed a protective coating for the actual walls of buildings. In fact, their product now lines the walls of the Pentagon with a substance that is 5 times stronger than steel.
Linex was originally developed as a product to be put on truck beds to protect them against abrasion and rust. It's a sprayed-on material. It's called a polymer, and it means that it's elastic and it adheres very well to the substrate. The product was very successful in that industry and has subsequently been used for spraying on buildings, structures to protect them against ballistics and blasts, such as a terrorist bomb blast. It's like an elastic barrier that holds the fragments together and stops them from flying in and killing people. One of the most important initiatives is to protect people against fragmentation from a building bomb blast. That's the #1 killer in a terrorist attack of a building. 80% of the deaths and damage is caused by fragments or pieces of that building flying at high speeds. We've developed a method to be able to hold those pieces together. One of the big killers right now is that the terrorists are putting booby traps on the sides of the roads, and they're using things like remote controls for a standard car and using it to trigger a remote device. So we've come up with a solution that can be retrofit on an existing vehicle, where we could literally take the vehicle, spray it, and put it back in the field into use again. One of the most common building methods is called infill wall with cinder blocks. They basically build a structured frame and fill it in with cinder block, which is a very brittle brick that can be fragmented easily with a bomb blast and cause a lot of damage. A good demonstration of Linex is to take a cinder block and show you what happens when we drop it from 30 or 40 feet off the ground, and then contrast that with what happens when we coat it with just a 1/4 inch of our product and drop it from that same height. This is what remains of a cinder block that was not treated with Linex. We dropped it to simulate what would happen in a blast, and it creates these deadly shards.
Next, we drop a block that has been treated with Linex from the same height.
As you can see, the brick landed right here. Looks like it landed on this corner. As you can tell, it looks intact. Probably the brick is broken inside, but that's what Linex is supposed to do. It holds those fragments together so they don't go inside of a building and cause damage.
But even with these improvements to our most vulnerable buildings, there is still little defense against suicide bombers. How can we plan against suicide attacks? And what does the future hold? Next on Unsolved History.